Hi friends, welcome back. Today we are going to be doing a quick lower body strength session. So my foot bar is all the way up and I'm going to start with a red and a green spring, which is a heavy and a medium spring on my reformer. I'll lay down on my back, scooching away from those shoulder blocks a little bit. I have my heels on the foot bar, hip distance apart, arms nice and long by my side. All right, let's start by tucking that tailbone under, rolling that spine up off of the carriage, one vertebrae at a time, and then rolling all the way down on the reverse. Good. Lifting those hips, then the lower back, mid back, all the way up, and then rolling all the way back down. Think about keeping that carriage nice and still at the stopper. I like to think about sending my knees over top of the foot bar to keep that carriage still. Let's go for 4 more. That's 3. Last 2. On this next one, lift your hips up high, hold it there. Now going to come to a neutral spine, hovering that bottom off of the carriage. Exhale, scoop and lift. Neutral spine, tap it down. Lifting up, squeezing the glutes. So just keeping the natural arch in that lower back as you lower, and then tucking under as you lift. If your lower back doesn't like this, you can just go back to the articulation that we were doing before. We're here for 5. Lift for 3. Last 2. Hold those hips nice and high. Tuck that tailbone. Let's press that carriage out. Lower your hips down onto the carriage. Bend those knees to come in. Rolling all the way up. Press the carriage out. Lower those hips down. Bring that carriage in. Warming up those hamstrings a little bit more here too. On this next one, let's press the carriage out with your hips down. Lift them. Keep those hips nice and high as you pull that carriage into the stopper, rolling back down. Pressing out. Lift and scoop. Driving those heels in towards your bottom to bring that carriage all the way in. Making sure those ribs are staying pulled in. We're not flaring out with those ribs. Let's go for 3 more. Last 2. Last 1. Now we're going to keep those hips high, bring that carriage in, press it away. Pulling with those hamstrings, pressing out. We're here for 5. Last 3. 2. Bring that carriage into the stopper. Keep those hips high, little pulses. 5, 4, 3, 2. Keep those hips high and squeeze for 4, 3, 2, 1. Rolling all the way down. Hug those knees into your chest for a moment. And take a little circle with those knees. All right, let's bring our right heel on the foot bar, left leg in tabletop. Press that carriage out. Control back in. Exhale to press. Let's extend that left leg over top of the foot bar as you come in. Bring that knee towards your chest as you press out. Starting to warm up the hip flexor of this left leg here. Let's go for 4. Strong press through the heel. That's 3. Last 2. Press that carriage all the way out. You're going to now drop that knee out to the side. Circle it down. Lift it back in towards your chest. Out to the side. So we're keeping that knee bent here. Just warming up that hip a little bit more. 3. 2. Keep those hips nice and stable. Let's reverse it. So on this one, you drop that leg down, out to the side, up to the ceiling. For 3, 2, 1. Find tabletop with that leg. Bring the carriage halfway in. Let's take little pulses. Keeping those hips nice and heavy. Here for 5, 4, 3, 2. Press all the way out, and then bring that carriage all the way in. Let's switch sides straight away. Left heel on, right leg in tabletop. Pressing out, control in. Exhale, you press. Let's start extending that right leg over the top as you come in. Pull that knee to your chest as you press out. Let's go for 5. Actively drawing that knee in as you press out. Last 3, 2, hold the carriage out. We're now going to drive that right knee in, drop it out to the side, little circle down, back, in, out to the side, little circle down and around. Hips and pelvis are stabilizing here. Making sure you're not rocking with those hips. Last 2. Last 1. Let's reverse direction. Down, out, and then back up. For 3. Last 2. 1. Find tabletop with that leg, then bring the carriage halfway in. Little pulses here. Go slow and controlled. Try not to bounce the carriage. Resisting those springs. Let's go for 5. Last 3, 2, press all the way out, then come all the way back in. Good work. Let's bring both toes onto our foot bar, hip distance apart. We're just going to press the carriage out and take some nice calf raises here. Lowering both heels, lifting up as high as you can onto those tippy toes. Lower and lift. Feeling that nice stretch in the back of the legs as you lower those heels under, and then lifting up as high as you can. Hips are staying even. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go nice and fast. 1 second to lower, 1 second to lift. Here for 4, 3, 2. Hold those heels high. Now drop down an inch, up an inch. Small range. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop one heel low, bending through the other knee. Feel that nice stretch in the calf. Let's switch sides. Lift up onto both toes and bring that carriage all the way in. All right, I'm gonna roll onto my side. I'm gonna face you guys. I'm gonna bring my headrest up. If you have a head pillow, you can use that here, or you can use a block or also a ball, but I'm happy with just my headrest lifted. I'm gonna stack my hips on top of each other, scooting my bottom to the very back edge of the carriage. Laying directly on my side here, my bottom ribs are lifted. All right, I'm still on that heavy and medium spring, 1 red, 1 green. Gonna place my foot onto the foot bar. Make sure your toes and your heel is on the foot bar. Parallel, knees lifted. Let's press that carriage out. Resist it in. Have your bottom knee tucked up on that carriage, and make sure those hips are stacked. As you bring the carriage in, think about sticking your bottom out behind you. Coming into that nice low squat position. Keeping this top knee lifted, don't let it collapse in toward your bottom leg. Actively squeeze that glute at the top. Let's go for 5. 3, 2, press all the way out, come halfway in. Let's take a little flutter with that knee up just a few inches, back down to hip height. Foot isn't moving, it's a really small movement here, isometrically working that leg. For 4, 3, 2, hold that knee at hip height, little pulses with that carriage, strong press through the heel. For 5, 3, 2, press all the way out, come all the way back into the stopper. You're going to extend that leg over top of your foot bar now and slightly turn your toes down toward the ground. Knee is slightly turned down, a little bit of internal rotation. Make it small, you're lifting that leg, lower back down. Leg is coming straight out from the hip. Keep those toes facing down. Feeling that outer glute working. My top hip is rolled forward a little bit here. Really finding that rotation. We're here for 5 more. 3, 2, 1. Let's rotate those toes and that knee up to the ceiling. Just a little bit. Don't let those hips roll back and that top hip roll back. Keep it stacked. Same thing, lift and lower. I've got a little bit more range in my external here. I'm still using that outer glute. I'm feeling a little bit in the front here as well. Extend that leg super long here, pointing that toe. Let's go for 5 more. 3, 2, 1. Keep the external rotation. Place your heel on the foot bar. Toes, knees are turned up, hips are stacked. Exhale, press. Return the carriage in. Keep that top hip pressed forward here. Keep lifted through the bottom ribs. Let's go for 8 more. 3, 2, On this next one, come halfway and hold the carriage still. Just hold it there. Let's take little pulses. Slow and controlled. Breathing, we're here for 5 more. Three, 2, press all the way out. Ooh, let's come all the way in. Straighten that leg over top of the foot bar again, lengthening that leg long, front of the foot, knee facing forward. Let's draw little circles. Controlling through the hip, make it small. In this direction for 5, 3, 2, let's reverse direction with those circles. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work, guys. Lower it down. Tap out the glute if you need. We are gonna roll on up and change our springs. I'm gonna take my red spring off. I have just one green, which is one medium spring. All right, I'm stepping off to the front of my reformer. I'm gonna still be working that same leg. So my right leg was on top there. Right foot is coming up near the foot bar. Toes are turned in toward your reformer. Let's bring our left foot up against the shoulder rest. Press that back leg straight. Take it into your curtsy lunge. Press through that heel to stand up tall. Bend that back leg in. Important thing here, your hips and your body are facing forward. We don't want to turn out. Good. Sinking as low as you can each time you go down. Letting that body hinge forward. Foot bar is always there for balance. I know curtsy lunges can be a bit of a balance challenge. If you like, you can add a little sweep of those arms out in front. I'm going to keep my hands on my hips. My balance isn't the best. Pressing through that heel to stand. Let's go for 10 more. Last 4, 3, 2. On this next one, hold it nice and low. Hold it low. Keeping that back leg straight. Breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2. Press through that heel. Stand up. Nice work, guys. Take a seat on your reformer, just crossing that ankle over your other knee. All right, I'm gonna grab a quick drink and then I'll see you for the other side. So I'm going back to my red and green spring. Then I'm going to be laying on my side, left leg on top this time. Scooting my bottom to the very back edge of the carriage, stacking the hips, lifting up through the bottom ribs. Let's bring that top foot on, your toes, your heels are on in parallel, bending that bottom leg in, pressing all the way out. Resist the springs on the way in. About sticking your bottom out behind you, feeling that stretch on the glute as you come all the way in. Squeeze the glute at the top when you press out. Staying straight through that spine. Let's go here for 5 more. 3. Strong press through the heel, that's 2. Come in halfway and hold it. Without moving the foot, just flare that knee up a few inches, back to hip height. Keeping that carriage still at halfway. Feeling that outer glute firing as you lift. Make it small. We're here for 5. 3. 2. Bring that knee back to hip height. Little pulses through the carriage. Out an inch, in an inch. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2. Press all the way out on this next one. Coming all the way back into the stopper. All right, we're going to extend that leg over top of the foot bar now. Leg is coming straight out from the hip. Slightly turn those toes and that knee down toward the floor. Little lift. Lower down just to a hover on that foot bar. Exhale, squeeze the glute to lift. Keeping that internal rotation of the hip here. Keeping that top hip rolled forward. Doesn't have to be super big. Just do what feels good. Five more. Last one. Let's turn our knee and our toes up to the sky now. So external rotation without that top hip rolling back. Lift it up, lower down. Keep it controlled. Try not to just kick the leg. Here for 4, 3, 2. Keep that external rotation. Bring your heel onto the foot bar. Knee and toes are turned up to the ceiling. Stay lifted through the bottom ribs. Exhale, press the carriage out. Control it in. We've got 5 more. 3, 2, come halfway and hold the carriage still, just hold it there, keep squeezing that glute, keep lifting the knee. Let's pulse it out, little pulses. Control the movement, control the carriage. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2. On this next one, press all the way out and come all the way in. Nearly done here. Extending that leg over top of the foot bar now. Front of the foot, knees facing forward. Let's draw little circles, stabilizing through the hip and pelvis. In this direction for 4, 3, 2, 1, reverse direction. For 4, 3, 2, hold that leg lifted and lower it down. Tap that glute out. All right, I'm swinging my legs off. Changing that spring again, just to that one medium spring, so one green spring. Back to our curtsy lunges. So this time, left foot is up near the foot bar, toes turned in slightly toward the reformer. Let's bring that right foot up against the shoulder block. Straighten out that right leg, sink deep through that left, pressing through the heel to stand. Foot bar is always there for balance. Keep sinking nice and low. Again, we're keeping those hips facing forward. Let's do 10 more. Last 3. Last 2. On this next one, hold it nice and low. Single low, hold it there as low as you can. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Press through that heel to stand. Whew. Let's sit on the edge of the carriage. Again, just crossing that ankle over the other knee. All right, let's just add a red spring back. So we have a green and a red, or a heavy and a medium. My straps are hung up. We're just gonna finish with a little bit of feet-in straps here. So laying on your back, press that carriage out, bringing your feet into those long loops, gluing those legs together. Just start by lifting them straight up to the sky, pulling them down toward the foot bar. Hips are staying heavy the whole time, making sure you're not arching through your lower back as you lower those legs down. Let's take it into leg circles, reach those legs to the sky, open out, draw a big circle back down to the foot bar. Let's reverse direction. Bringing those legs together, you can pull down on your ropes here, bringing those legs nice and close to your chest, bending through one knee and then the other. Bringing the bottoms of your feet together, let your knees drop wide. And then bottoms of the feet go to the sky, knees come toward your underarms for your happy baby pose. Taking those feet out of the straps, just one more nice stretch here, grabbing onto one foot, bring it to the outside of your reformer, and then let the other knee drop out to the side here. You might struggle to feel a stretch if you have a high reformer, so you can pull that foot up a little bit here too as well if you need. Switching sides with that stretch. Shake those legs up. Guys, that is us all done. I hope you had a great lower body session and I will see you in the next one.